A bold CEO is taking on President Trump at the Supreme Court, and his actions could spark a wave of tariff refunds, shaking up the business world. This is a story of a man standing up for what he believes in, and it's about to get controversial. The battle for business survival. Meet Rick Woldenberg, a CEO with a mission. He's the head of Learning Resources, a toy business based in the Chicago area, and he's not one to back down from a fight, especially when it threatens his company's existence. In April, Woldenberg took a stand against the Trump administration's sweeping tariffs, which he believes are an illegal power grab. Woldenberg filed a lawsuit, a 37-page complaint to be precise, alleging that Mr. Trump's tariffs on Liberation Day were unconstitutional. He took his case to court, and in June, a lower court ruled in his favor. But the Trump administration appealed, and now the Supreme Court is hearing the case, deciding the fate of the president's signature economic policy. "I'm not going down without a fight," Woldenberg told CBS Evening News. "When politicians threaten our business, we have to push back." Woldenberg's actions set him apart from many top business leaders. While they grumble privately about the uncertainty caused by Trump's tariffs, they remain silent publicly or try to influence the president behind closed doors. Woldenberg, however, is taking a different path, one that he believes is necessary to protect his business and the law. "This isn't about politics, it's about the interpretation of the law," he emphasized. The Supreme Court's decision, a high-stakes game. The Supreme Court is now faced with a crucial decision. They must determine whether the president has the legal authority to impose tariffs on foreign countries to address national emergencies such as the fentanyl crisis, illegal migration, or trade deficits. If the court sides with Trump, he claims it will guarantee American prosperity. But if Woldenberg wins, the White House warns of economic chaos, as they may have to refund billions to American companies. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has already stated that the U.S. would need to refund about half of the over $200 million in tariff revenue collected this year. Woldenberg estimates that a third of his 500 employees have had to shift their focus to dealing with tariffs, and his company has paid between $5 million and $10 million in tariffs so far this year. "I want my money back," Woldenberg said. "The government has hit us with an unfair tax." Woldenberg has a history of fighting government interference in his business. In 2009, he stood up to the Obama administration over stricter lead testing rules for toys. And despite donating to Kamala Harris's campaign in 2024, he insists his lawsuit is not politically motivated. He has a track record of supporting both Democrats and Republicans. On a recent Friday, workers at Learning Resources' massive warehouse north of Chicago were busy preparing and loading shipments for retailers like Walmart and small toy stores across the country. Woldenberg believes that factories in China and Vietnam offer unique advantages for his business, especially for popular items like the toddler cash register and new products like the Bubble Plush yoga ball. "We can't afford to move production to the U.S., Woldenberg explained. "And our competitors aren't doing it either." Woldenberg and his team have had to play a game of whack-a-mole with the ever-changing tariff rates. When Trump targeted China with a 145% tariff rate, they shifted production to India. But then, in August, the president increased India's tariff rate to 50%, forcing Woldenberg to rush shipments to the U.S. to avoid further penalties. "It was an emergency situation," he recalled. "We had a tight deadline, and a late arrival cost us dearly." The Supreme Court is also hearing a similar case brought by 5 other small businesses and a group of Democratic state attorneys general. A federal appeals court has already ruled that many of the president's tariffs are illegal. This case is a landmark, as it will be the first time the Supreme Court directly decides the legality of one of Trump's most significant second-term policies. Woldenberg is confident that the court will rule in his favor, granting him and other businesses relief from these tariffs. He believes that the unlawfully collected taxes will be refunded, providing a much-needed boost to businesses affected by these policies. We're fighting for our survival, and I believe the court will recognize that, he said. This story is a reminder that sometimes standing up for what's right can have a significant impact. Will Woldenberg's actions inspire others to challenge the status quo? Only time will tell. What are your thoughts on this case? Do you think the Supreme Court will side with Woldenberg? Or is there another outcome you foresee? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments below.